Hello everybody, it's time for class. This class we will introduction of HNC-8 hardware connection. Here is IPC-200. This is IPC-200 hardware. At this IPC-200, we can this specification. The first is CPU performance upgrade, significantly enhance processing speed and execution efficiency. Next, disk capacity increase. Standard 8 GB eMMC SSD SATA interfaces reserved. Next, improved network port performance. Standard 1000 Mbps gigabit Ethernet port and an Ethercat bus communication port at here. Ethercat communication port. Support Ethercat protocol third-party server I/O and something like that. Next, USB transfer performance at here. USB 0 and USB 1. The USB is upgraded to two USB 3.0 ports and the file transfer rate is greatly improved. Next, structure improvement. This is aluminum profile box structure, hard anodized treatment, large area fan-shaped aluminum profile heat dissipation, no fan. So here is IPC-200. Support Ethercat plus NCUC field bus. Optional Ethercat plus M3 protocol at here. The M3 interface is in the form of a network port. It is recommended to use IPC-200 hardware with version 2.0 software. So this IPC-200 supports two kinds of real-time field bus mixed connection. Here is the dimension of about UPS power supply. We call the UPS power supply as 145U type. The input power is rated input voltage AC 220 voltage plus minus 10%. Frequency is from 47 to 63 Hz. Rated power about 145 watts. Output power is rated output voltage is DC plus 24 voltage, 6 outputs, 2 of which have UPS function and power failure detection signal output. Total rated output current is 6 ampere. UPS discharge time 30 seconds, 1 ampere load. Protected. Overload protection allows the rated output power 155% to 150%. Overload protection mode. Turn off the output. Restore after restart. Over voltage protection allow the output voltage 23.5 to 27 voltage. Overload protection mode, turn off the output, restore after restart. This is the specification about the HNC-8 type NC system. Here is for how to select the NC system information. So the device is, the first is HIO-1000 combined I/O unit. This unit bottom plate has 9-slot bottom plate sub-module. For example, HIO-1009. This unit provides one communication sub-module and 8 functional sub-module slots. Another is 6-slot bottom plate sub-module. The type is HIO-1006. This kind of bottom provides one communication sub-module and 5 functional sub-module slots. And NC-UC Proto Communication Sub-Module, SC Optical Fiber Interface. The type is HIO-1063. Required under Optical Fiber Interface Communication Mode. Supported system, HNC-8. So, there are access control slot, increment path access control sub-module. The type is HIO-1041. Optional. Each sub-module provides 2 access control interfaces. Each interface includes path command, DA analog voltage command, encoder feedback command. So here also has analog I/O sub-module. The type is HIO-1073. Optional. Each sub-module provides 4 analog inputs and 4 analog outputs. So here also has a temperature board, analog input. The type is HIO-1075. Our HIO-1076 optionals. Each sub-module provides 6 analog inputs, can measure 6 temperatures, and the system supports a maximum of 30 temperature measurements. So here is our HIO-1000 unit, like this. So here also have many switches. For example, NPN type switch input sub-module. The type is HIO-1011N. Optional. Each sub-module provides 6-channel NPN PLC switch input signal interface. Low-level effective. PNP type switch input sub-module. Type is HIO-1011P. Optional. Each sub-module provides 6 channels of PNP PLC switch input signal interface. High-level effective. The difference between N and P is effective. This is low-level effective. Here is high-level effective. is the difference. Also, about output, we have NPN switch output submodule. The type is HIO 1021N. Each module provides 6-channel NPN PLC switch output signal interface, low-level effective. Here also have a model we call the switch input and output model. The type is HIO 1031. Each submodule provides 24 inputs, each 8 channels of PNP and NPN can be optional through command end jumpers. 16 outputs, low-level effective. So, about the switch in or switch out, we have 4 types of submodule. Here is about HIO 1031 input output. The pins defined. 1. If the COM0 port is connected to GND, you can configure XM plus 0.0 to XM plus 0.7 as PNP input. If the COM0 port is connected to 24 voltage, XM plus 0.0 to XM plus 0.7 can be configured as NPN input. Similarly, COM1 and COM2 can be configured corresponding to XM plus 1.0 to XM plus 1.7, XM plus 2.0 to XM plus 2.7 are PNP type input or output type. 2. It is valid if the current flowing through the input port is greater than 6 milliampere. Precautions. 1. The 3 groups of inputs of this module occupy 4 groups of input points in the system. Each group has 8 bits, and the last group is reserved by default. 2 sets of output occupied. 2. If the input configuration ports COM0 to COM3 or COM2 are left open, the default is PNP type input. 2 sets of output points of the system. 3. If the input configuration ports COM0 to COM2 are left unconnected, the default is PNP type output. So here also has another kind of I/O unit we called HIO 1200. There are 4 types. For example, HIO 1200M1 and HIO 1200E M1. This is NCUC circuit bus, backplane plus HIO 1200K1 terminal board. Here are 24 inputs and 16 outputs, 1 encoder feedback interface and 1 DA interface. HIO at here, HIO 1200M2, HIO 1200E M2. NCUC is cat bus, backplane plus HIO 120031 expansion board. So here are 48 inputs and 32 outputs, one encoder feedback interface and one DA interface. So this is 24, and here is double, 48, and here is 16 outputs, and here is this type has 32 outputs. Next, we show the introduction with hardware. The handheld unit provides emergency stop button, enable button, work indicator light, coordinator selection, X, Y, Z, force, magnification selection, X1, X10, X100, and a manual parts generator at here, manual parts generator. The handheld interface plug is connected to the handheld control interface HNC-8 of the HNC-8 series numerical control device at here. This is plug. Next, servo driver. The feature is the following. We have HSV160U low voltage series. The voltage is about 220 voltage. For specification, 20 ampere, 30 ampere, 50 ampere, 75 ampere. HSV180U high voltage series. The voltage is 380 voltage. Here is 35 ampere, 50 ampere, 75 ampere, 100 ampere, 150 ampere, 200 ampere, 250 ampere, the current. There are 9 specifications of 300 ampere and 450 ampere, and the maximum power output and the power reaches to 100 kilowatts. It is very big, like this. B. Using a unified encoder interface, it can be adapted to composite incremental photoelectric encoders, all digital absolute encoders, sine and cosine absolute encoders, support NDATE 2.1, NDATE 2.2, BISS, HIP, ER, phase, Tamagawa, and other serial absolute encoders through encoder communication transmission protocol, support singleton, multi-ton, absolute position processing. C. Adopt industrial Ethernet bus interface, support NCUC and EtherCAT 2-bus data link layer prototypes. Realize high-speed data exchange with CNC devices, such as status monitoring, parameter modification, fault diagnosis, and other functions. D. HS-180U 160U supports the second encoder interface to achieve full closed-loop control. E. By integrating different software modules, it can be adapted to servo motors, spindle motors, torque motors, and other types of motors. So, the HSV160U series AC servo drive unit like this, HSV160U unit. HSV160U has a high-speed industrial Ethernet bus interface, and adopts the NCUC bus protocol with independent intelligent prototype rights to realize high-speed data exchange with numerical control devices. It has a high-resolution absolute encoder interface, which can be adapted to composite increment, sine and cosine, all-digit absolute encoders, and other signal types. The position feedback resolution can reach up to 23 bits. The HSV-160U AC server driver unit has full specification of 20 ampere, 30 ampere, 50 ampere, and 75 ampere, and the maximum power output of the power could reach to 5.5 kilowatts. Here is HSV type, like this. So the motor power equal to motor rotate speed multiplied by rated torque divided by 9560. Here is a specification about HSV-160U servo drive, like this. Here is the specification. There are many specifications. And here is effective value. Here is the driver's maximum value. Here is the power. The interface like this. Here is HSV-160U 2030 is the same port, like this, I think. This here is HSV-160U 50 ampere, 75 ampere interface like this pin. Here is HNC-8 server amplifier brand, like this. So the port XS1, the server motor, like this. This is encoder, input outputs. Here is encoder in pins definition. So here is HSV-180U series AC server driver unit. This is a big one. HSV-180U has a high-speed industrial SCAT bus interface and adopts the NCUC bus protocol with independent, intelligent, intellectual properties to realize high-speed data exchange with numerical control devices. It has a high-resolution absolute encoder interface, which can be adapted to kind of encoders, include incremental, sine and cosine, all-digit absolute encoders, and other single types. The position feedback resolution can up to 23 bits. Support dual encoder interface can realize full closed-loop control. The HSV-180U AC server driver unit forms a total of 8 specifications from 35 ampere to 450 ampere, and the maximum power output of the power reaches 75 kilowatts, which greatly broadens the power output range of the company's server drive products. Here is HSV-180UD server driver, like this. Here is server motor. This is we called Gordon King company's servo motor. This is a selection order information. So AC permanent magnet synchronous servo motor, the type like this, for example, LBB series servo motor, description like this. There are many kinds of servo motor. So you should define this and then to order the motor. Here is the motor dimensions, the profile dimensions. For example, at here, 5S at here, this type of motor, 5S is about is 90 millimeter, like this dimension. So you should select your motor be carefully. So the class is over. Thank you, everybody. That's okay.